Okay, we're now on to the absolute final battle that I want to do between the Captain America family and the Batman family. This, of course, is Ultimate Captain America versus Grant Morrison written Batman. Why did I pick Grant Morrison written Batman as his own specific character? He writes him in an entirely different way. Batman, under Grant Morrison's writing, is the most dangerous person, period. He has killed Darkseid twice, while written by Grant Morrison. It is kind of hard to think about someone who could defeat Darkseid twice. That's the way he writes Batman. Batman has been able to take out the whole Justice League in a matter of panels. So he's writing him as an absolute, complete and total, almost godlike when it comes to being able to do prep on the fly and defeat just about any single opponent, as long as he has some sort of information and knowledge about said opponent. That versus Ultimate Captain America. Ultimate Captain America, you have the same sort of power set, but it's a different sort of personality. He's not in here as much as the Boy Scout. He actually convinced Hulk that one of his villains was hitting on Betty, which then made Hulk eat him. He's also come back from the dead while fighting alongside Thor in Valhalla. And he's not afraid to get really dirty, shoot, light somebody on fire. So he has the ability to go a lot dirty, a lot faster. So as always, you have the same 9 criteria: intelligence, fighting ability, strength, speed, durability, invulnerability, energy projection, or distance fighting, versatility, and that all-important X factor. So here we go. Intelligence. Grant Morrison written Batman can do virtually anything with anything. He's like if MacGyver had all the time in the world and access to virtually everything. It wouldn't surprise me if the Grant Morrison written Batman didn't know how to make a mother box out of two sticks and a hunk of gum. Fighting ability. So here again we're looking at the way Grant Morrison writes Batman. Batman has defeated just about anybody. He's beaten white Martians. After he realized, they didn't like fire. Oh, they're white Martians. I know how to defeat them. He's never really met a white Martian before. He's met green Martians, and he kind of knew what a green Martian didn't like fire. But he was able to defeat an opponent who had super strength, super speed, invulnerability, intangibility, and everything. As well as fight his way past some of his own pseudo clones and fight people who have had equal, if not greater, level of training versus a guy who's got a phenomenal amount of training. All-terrain acrobatics, masters of multiple martial arts. But just the way Morrison writes Batman, again, this goes to Batman. Strength. They have showed Ultimate Captain America essentially catching trees, doing feats of superhuman strength, as well as wrestling Spider-Man to the ground. Spider-Man has a super strength, so strength advantage there. Speed. Again, you're looking at a super soldier serum, so you have enhanced speed on this side versus a character who still actually has regular human speed. Durability. Again, you look at the super soldier serum, flat out. Invulnerability. Well, the way Morrison likes to write Batman, Batman pretty much is wearing a style of armor that makes him almost unbeatable. And the fact that he can improvise armor that makes him even more dangerous. So again, you're looking at Morrison writes Batman as having something up his sleeve for everything, regardless of what's going on. So I have to give that nod again to Batman. Energy projection. Knowing that Batman was able to kill Darkseid with the bullet that traveled backwards through time and a gun that he just happened to find, he's also killed Darkseid with a laser pointer. So beyond all the toys Batman normally carries on him, Grant Morrison has given him the ability to create weapons that are specifically geared to take out almost anybody and almost carry them on him at all times. So for energy, looking at shield, gun, the ability to fight dirty, versus someone who is essentially carrying around a a small bag of holding in every single pocket of his utility belt. So we got versatility. You got a person who's taken out the Justice League, as well as has the ability to defeat somebody like Darkseid, who realistically outclasses anything that even Superman can do. As well as be an ace detective, a master of the martial arts. The only thing he doesn't have is superhuman abilities. At the same time, that X factor. The way Morrison would write Batman, it wouldn't surprise me if Morrison had the ability to pretty much write Batman as someone who doesn't actually even exist, but is a metaphysical concept that has the ability to destroy everything. But he keeps things in order because that is the way he prefers things to be. Versus a guy who has fought his way through Valhalla to come back from the dead. That's a ridiculous thing to do, but Grant Morrison had Batman defeat mental image clones of himself produced by a new god, and then kill the Darkseid who was wearing pants. So when Grant Morrison is writing Batman, it is actually a 6-3. So while Steve, Ultimate Captain America, has all the physical attributes, just the way Grant Morrison writes Batman, Batman has every single other thing in spades. You know, the way Grant Morrison writes Batman, he could go by himself in a game of euchre, withholding all the cards of the offsuit from the wild, it's called, and still get all the tricks. He's written in a way that makes him virtually unbeatable. So with that, you've got all the physical skills versus a guy who's got every single other skill possibly imaginable. So with that, at the end of the 10 fights, Batman takes 6, Captain America takes 4.